Record.
There we go. All right. Welcome to the very first episode of the Hanging Loose podcast, the only podcast unaccounted for during the January 6th riots. Hosted by Spiiciiboii and me and Papa Wolf. No, not Papa Wolf. You're here.
He's just here for
I'm Papa Wolf.
free
Yeah.
news.
I'm here for a day. I'm a host for a day. We'll count.
Your host for a day.
Yeah.
Do you already regret being here?
That's too personal of a question. Let's
Too
move on to the
personal
next
question. All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm sure most people already know who you are if they're listening to this, but
yeah, that's a too personal question. Let's move on to the next one. Nah, Spicy put me up to that to answer too personal for the first couple.
I was like, bro, no matter what he asks you, just make sure you say it's too personal. And I didn't talk about it.
Yeah, you guys look tense before we got on air, quote unquote. So I'm just here to help relieve that in the most professional way I can relieve that for you. Whatever you need.
Yeah. You do at least one other podcast. You want what's that one?
Yeah, so I'm on Leppy Duels, which is a lot of fun by Jacob Arvidsson out of Leprechaun Hollow's disc golf course and Jarvie Media, and he also works for Nate from that one company in Illinois, and then
who doesn't know Nate?
Yeah, he does a couple other things, but Jacob's the man. I like battling people like Trevor Harbaugh and Seth Fenley. And Zach O'Haron from Crew 42. He gets some great guests. It's kind of like around the horn style, if you will, where you battle over a question. And then Jacob gives a point based on that, which is completely made up because I should win every argument and I don't. So obviously he just takes whatever one he wants to win, which is fine. I mean, you got to get your clicks, you got to get your views, things like that.
Oh, of course.
But yeah. I work full-time in disc golf, which is kind of a unique thing. I work for Great Lakes Disc, which is the Midwest premier disc golf store and premier event running company, if you will. And I just made both those stats up, but since I said it, they're right.
Premier is not a quantifier, technically.
No.
Right. Exactly.
You can just claim you have the world's best pizza. So, I mean...
Right. Yeah. Or the best cup of coffee or whatever.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We are the best disc golf company in the world, mainly because we have premier customer service, mainly by me. No, but seriously, I have a blast. I'm blessed. I get to work in disc golf today. I did, I think, 22 either video or in-person interviews for our team next year.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was quite a lot yesterday, about the same number. So I think we have 75 total this week between Shay, the owner, and myself. A lot of fun getting to know people from different regions. Prior to Great Lakes Disc, my full-time gig was with the YMCA. Insert the song here if you want. I will not act it out.
We'll do that.
That'll be.
Yeah, appreciate that. So that was cool. But I've always run a kind of side hustle company called Wolfpack Disc. That was, born out of a online Facebook joke until the government wanted their cut. So I had to file a DBA and then file LLC and on all those things. But basically, we are a promotions company, according to the government. We don't sell anything. We promote the sport of disc golf. We do run a handful of events still. And by handful, I mean, I run a Michigan featured event. I run a women's series event, which is my favorite event of the year, called Rise of the She-Wolf. All those badass women that come, they just kick ass. And then I run like a flex start before our state championship. Oh, and then I run our state championship for the pro side.
No big deal.
Yeah, no, it was kind of an accidental thing. That's a story for a different podcast, but it's great being involved in the state, the Great Disc State, as our state coordinator Mark Stevens would call it. If you haven't made it to Michigan and you're listening to this, put it on your disc golf road trip map, because it's hard to go anywhere in our state on a weekend between February and October and not find a B tier. And then at least find multiple B tiers on some weekends and giant A tiers on other weekends. So our state championship was known for years as the largest B tier in the world, 500-ish so people. And then it kind of split. And now we have our pro side, which I run, and then our AM side, which is now gotten up to close to 600, and that's an A tier.
Dang. Heck yeah. What would you say is the biggest like notable name to show up to your state champs?
Back in the day, when our sport had, or when our championship had both the AM and the pro, like Paul Ulibarri played, Cat played. But locally, like Michigan fandom's crazy. So like, Marweed or Barham, who's won the event multiple times, like people know those names and like people come out and cheer for them. This year, our MPO winner on the pro side was Luke Taylor. And if you don't know Luke Taylor, you will very, very soon. He is a high schooler who is not on tour yet, but already has like the van ready to go. And once basketball season is over, because he's a 2-sport athlete, he will be graduating and then onto bigger things. So he's a shredder and he's great. So that's probably the biggest name, people you see on tour.
Right.
But it's more like the aspect of like, we get state champions from AM4, FA4, all the way through Masters 70. Everybody becomes a champ, and it's great to see our state. It is a model for other states. So if you want to know more about big events, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll chat.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no surprise that Ulibarri shows up. If there's a C tier, he's there.
Yeah, I have a funny story about him real quick. So in 2016, I was blessed with having a daughter, and her name's Quinn, and she's got a 5-digit PDGA number. And 3 months after she was born, we took that trip to Ledgestone in 2016. So there's my 3-month-old and my wife and myself. And I went down to breakfast by myself, and it was a jam-packed like hotel continental breakfast. Every disc golfer in the world's there, and the whole place is packed. I'm sitting at a table by myself, and Paul's grabbing food, and he just kind of looks at my open table, and I like give him the like feel free to sit down, and he sat down. And out of all the pros you ever meet, very rarely do you get this question first. Are you ready?
Ready.
How did you shoot yesterday?
Ooh.
Like literally, he knew right away. Obviously, I was a disc golfer, but more importantly, like I know who he is. Like
Right.
And he's probably aware I know who he is. He doesn't sit down and start talking about the pro side or talking about the festival side. This is 2016. It's brand new pro tour. They had the festival games and all that. It was really exciting. He cared enough to ask me how I was doing in the event. And that struck, that was one of those things where like, all right, I'm always going to be a fan of that guy no matter what. Like that guy is a human first, a disc golfer second.
Heck yeah. Yeah, he strikes me as a very down-to-earth guy. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even remember that. It's like, it goes to show you, like, you never know, like, the simple. Maybe he does. I don't know. But, like, it goes to show you, like, the small interactions, the random interactions you have with people. Like, you never know, like, what that's going to create. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Heck yeah. Well, I suppose that leads to the next question I had. What was the last event you played? I mean, the podcast is supposed to be for amateur disc golfers, so I hope you play.
Yeah. So the last unsanctioned event I played was a 32-team match play event. It is an invitation-only event that's run for many, many years. I wouldn't say it's secretive, but it's hard to get into. We'll say that much. It's called the Mustard Cup in Michigan, and many people wish they got to play in that event. So that was the last unsanctioned event I played, and I believe the last sanctioned event I played was Ledgestone all the way back in August. I just I'm more on the TD side than I am on the player side, even though I do have, I think, like 190 PDGA events played, something like that. So I'm a true amateur. I care so much that I've donated thousands and thousands of dollars to other people. That's how much I care about disc golf.
For sure. You played at the Memorial too, right? You weren't just down here in sport. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do get blessed with the opportunity to travel a little bit, whether that's for work or for fun. And I have a great friend named Adam that lives in Phoenix. So I've got to play at the Memorial a handful of times where I met the Spiiciiboii himself. I went to bingo at his bar. It was 10-10, highly recommend. If you're in the Phoenix area, look up his bar for the bingo. I won once, which was fun. There's a wheel that's spun. There's loud music. There's relatively good prices. I think the food was good, but I don't remember it because I had to go out and film a different podcast in the middle
parking
of
lot, the one you were just telling me about, the around the horn one. You're like, it's kind of like around the horn, but I have to do it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go sit in the car and put the dome light on or something, and I filmed the podcast. But I did win that week, so let the record show.
Yeah.
So like I've gotten to play Memorial, gotten to play Ledgestone, some of the other like older events like Bowling Green AMs, which doesn't exist anymore. But back in like 2013, 14, that was like a 600-700 person event. So that was really unique at the time for me to go and play in a field of 144 people. Like I've never heard of that. Like, let's go come in last. It's great.
I wanted to ask you, just because you mentioned you're more on the TD side of things. One of the Twitter questions was, and obviously you don't have to get into specifics, it's your comfort level, but one of the questions was, what does a TD make for running an average like C tier?
Dude, that was a great question. I saw that on Twitter. First of all, if you're listening to this and you're on Twitter, follow all these wonderful people on Twitter. I tell people that Twitter is my secret social media. I'll post all of like everyone come buy this, everyone come look at this, look at my cute family on Facebook and Instagram. But on Twitter, I'm like, yo, this pro sucks. And then it's there forever, and that pro can read it one day if they want. And I would tell them why. But yeah, that was a great question. C tier, I would say if you had a 72 person AM C tier and you charged, $30, we'll say, for AM, and you had a player's pack value of 15, and you gave them a Z disc or whatever that you got for 10. So that's $5 times 72. So you're looking at like 350 range. If you had to, reserve a park, which most people have to reserve a park, or you have to cover insurance, or you have to rent a porta potty, those numbers dramatically go down. So assuming you don't do a raffle or a 50-50 or anything like that, a good TD nets, a couple $100 on a C tier. A good TD. Now, if you have 50 AMs and 22 pros, you net probably $0 on a C tier. So most TDs are doing it for the love of the game, if you will. They ain't trying to get rich.
Absolutely. I assume that's especially true at the C tier level.
That's just words from my mouth.
Like I said, my favorite event of the year I host was Rise of the She-Wolf. It's been one of those events where I've had 72 women, and it's been one of those events where I have 20 women. Doesn't matter. It's still going to be my favorite event, and I'm still going to donate way more time, way more money, find more sponsors, things like that. And that's really how you end up making money, is finding sponsors. So anybody out there that wants to get in the TD side, go on that side of the table, you have to provide excellent customer service. You have to admit you're wrong way more than you ever want to admit. And you have to find sponsors. That's how you make money. So if you can't do those three things, mainly the second one, where you admit you're wrong a lot, because every player is always right, except for the PDJ rules where I'm always right. But yeah, that's the way to it. Now, bigger events, higher cost events, like if you're charging $75 for a C tier and you've got a $30 players pack, but it's 2 discs and a hat, and that 2 discs and a hat only cost you $20. That's $10 a player you're making. So there are ways to make money, but it's not always the easiest. Like, I'm gonna throw an event for Andrew Marweed coming up on Super Bowl Sunday. He's not gonna be in Michigan, but I'm gonna throw it. It's gonna be one of his signature discs. It's a 1-round event, unsanctioned. You get to throw it off the tee as a Cali shot for every tee.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then you can pick it and just play it out. It'll be a 1-round event, super easy. I'm gonna only charge $20 for that. So you're gonna get a $20 disc and play the event, and you're gonna get a $10 payout. So basically, $10 of every player is gonna go into that pool for payouts, and we'll pay out on traditional PDJ structure. So that means I have $10 that I'm quote unquote netting for that event. Now, the Marweed disc cost me, X amount, and then whatever that X amount between the $10 is what I'm going to give Marweed. So he's going to make $1 or $2 per player.
What a clean breakdown.
Yeah, I'm
I like
honest.
that.
I mean, I have no
Yeah.
problem telling you what's going on. It's bad for business for me to hide behind some sort of fake
Oh
protective
yeah.
wall. You
Oh,
know what I
for sure.
mean?
Yeah.
There are
What disc is it?
there. It's gonna. This one's called Forehand Frenzy, and it's gonna be his limited edition Tsunami that came out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a great forehand disc, even for people that don't know how to forehand. It's
Is it-
yeah. Hey, Spice. Yeah, I'll teach you sometime when I'm in Arizona.
I throw lefty though, so it's
Yeah, no, it's about being a blackjack dealer. Think about being a poker dealer or blackjack dealer, and always keeping your palm up. There's your hint. Got to let the camera see your palm.
Are
Yes,
you only lefty sidearm, Spicy?
No, actually, I
You're just
right-hand
lefty?
backhand. No, I'm ambidextrous.
Oh, really? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, I think I knew that. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm ambidextrous, so
that's sick.
it's nice to be able to use that to get out of some things. But anymore, all the cool kids are doing it these days and making it not as exciting. Eagle did it. What was it last year?
Yeah.
And then Drew said he's starting to practice because his elbow might not be ready for tour next year. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Everybody rolling in on my obviously me, the first person to ever do it.
Yeah, I'm sure you were the first person to ever throw with both hands ever in the
Right.
history of time.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's
I'm comfortable making
fact.
that assumption.
You heard it here first, folks.
All 7 of you listening, you heard it here first.
Oh yeah,
7. That's optimistic, my guy.
I don't know. Like, I figured my mom was going to be one. I don't know
That's
how your
fair.
relationships with your moms are, but like maybe that got us 3 roughly. I'll play it in the office, so that's 4.
It's 4. I'm sure I'll listen to it again.
Yeah,
I'll
so
definitely listen back.
so that's 6. So all we really need is 1 new person
That's fair.
to listen to this, and I feel like it's a success right away. I mean, your Twitter account went up by like what, 3 followers today?
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
yeah.
the hanging loose one is
Yeah.
it went from I think about 3 to 5 I think.
Yeah, that's the power of Papa, man. I got you 3 more likes today, baby.
Heck yeah.
Power of Papa. That's what your mom
was
says
a-
when she watches.
Yeah, that was a
surprised.
2.5% increase. 2.5% increase on your overall number. You're welcome.
Oh man.
Yeah,
you guys get
talking to a
famous.
guy this earlier today who had said he's never listened to a podcast and doesn't even know how. And I was like, that's, I listen to so many podcasts that it doesn't even register that that's not a super popular medium. I mean, obviously it is because you got like the JREs and stuff, but like it was so weird to me that somebody didn't know how to even access a podcast.
I like I said, I got done with a whole bunch of interviews today. My last one, I got to meet up with a local at a bar. It was pretty cool. I don't get to do that too often. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to film a podcast or record a podcast. And he's like, where do people listen to that? So no joke. I had the same conversation today, all honesty. So it happens. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a podcast listener. Like I listen to music in the car, specifically music of like certain genres, gets me going, things like that. But when I get to the shop, I'll tell you what I listen to later. When I get to the shop, I put on I like Nick and Matt. I like Terry. I like Smashbox. Like, I don't mind having the YouTube related podcast, if you will, on the TV, because then people can watch or listen, but it's always on in the background when I'm making packages, things like that.
So
Absolutely.
if you're at Great Lakes Discs, please consider this moment and buying a few things from the nice man behind the counter. Thank you.
Yeah, Great Lakes Disc. You can go to www.greatlakesdisc.com. There's no S after disc because we only have 1 for sale. And by 1, we actually mean 40,000 roughly. And if you use the code Papa Wolf, no space, you get 10% off. And if this podcast gets to 5 episodes, maybe we'll make this podcast have its own promo code too. We'll work out some sort of sponsorship.
Oh, 5 episodes.
And why I say 5, because I've been I've been the 4th guest on podcasts that never made a 5th. So good luck, guys. Hope it works out for you.
Oh man,
well, hopefully that's not a curse.
I have so many stories to tell. At least 5 episodes worth.
At least 5 episodes.
There you go. That's all we need, right?
Heck yeah.
What do we want to tackle some Twitter questions?
Sure, I'm down.
All right.
I love Twitter questions.
Let's see. Combine a company's plastic lineup with another company's mold lineup. I'm assuming is what they meant. They said disc. What would the best combination be? That's from @butterdiscgolf.
I really like that question.
Yeah, so as a person that touches thousands of frisbees a day, like thousands a day, this is a great question. Like literally a great question. And this is going to surprise you, but obviously I'm going to keep Discraft molds. Big banner behind me for, I don't know if people are viewing or not. I don't know if this is just recorded for fun, but yeah, I'm a Discraft homer. I'm in Michigan. Technically I'm on underground, but I'll always be a Michigan guy. So I want a different plastic though, Bob. I love you, Bob. You're my friend. I care about you and the success of the company. If you look at Latitude's lineup of baseline plastics, there is such a large variety. And in the state of Michigan, where one day it could be, 80 and humid, and the next day it could be 40 and dry, you need different baseline putters. You need different baseline approach discs. You even might need different baseline mid-ranges. I think sales end would be wonderful as well. I think it's an easy sale. But like, I love the BT hard for real sticky days. I think that's a great texture. I love the new Supreme line Judge from Trilogy as well. Like it's got a different feeling for lower humidity, if you will. Spicy. I'm sure you love that where you are, where there's like the absence of water. Things
unless
like
I'm
that.
throwing.
Yeah, well, that makes sense based on the courses you play. But yeah, so I would take like the Trilogy lineup of putter blend plastics, the swirls, the bursts, the blends, the hards, the softs, the mediums, and I'd put them in all of the challengers I've ever needed in my life and all of the zones I ever needed in my life, just to have that pure option. And mainly the zone. Like, I'm a firm believer that if you throw an approach disc, it should be a baseline approach disc, and it should be super overstable no matter what brand you throw. So it should be your backhand disc, at least. Your forehand disc can be, Z-line or whatever, but your backhand disc should be definitely overstable and baseline, so it can grab that ground and settle faster. So that's what I would mix up. That was a great question. I saw that come up. I think I hearted it. I was hoping you were going to ask that one.
A zero medium zone would be dope.
I lost audio.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
We can still hear you, though, Kyle. Spicy.
Can you hear us?
Spicy. Wink twice if you can hear us. He's not winking.
What the hell happened?
Spicy.
Is your battery dead?
Hold on.
We should go to the chat.
See if I can leave and rejoin.
Let's solve this.
All right. He'll be back.
Is the battery dead? All right. In the meantime, ask me a different question while Kyle's out and about.
Okay. Let's see here. Describe your dream par 5.
Listen.
That question is from Mean Dean.
Mean Dean.
Mean Dean.
I firmly believe that a par 5 should have some sort of OB in it. So I'm going to preface that, and then I'm going to lead into, I'm a woods golfer before I'm an open golfer. Mm-hmm. Like, you can beat me on any course that's open, even if you're an Am4. You can probably beat me. I don't have the distance. I don't have the D, if you will. But I do have accuracy, especially in the woods. And the first course I ever played was called Hollywoods. It's a tight course up in Flint area of Michigan. And so I learned to throw cutting lines through there, and that was a big thing for me. So my ideal par 5 is, put it at, 1,000 feet or whatever. I don't care the distance, but it's 2 tunnel shot drives. Okay. Don't care how far that is for you or for, whatever layout, FPO, MA1, FA40, whatever you got to do to drive twice with a driver, not a buzz, a driver through thick woods. I'm talking like 12, 15 foot fairway. Ooh. So if you miss, you are effed. All right. You're sixing this, 8ing it. I don't care. All right. 2 clean drives. So now you're like 300 out shooting your third shot. All right. Maybe you're 280, something in that range.
Is this the par 5? Is that what I'm missing?
Yeah. You left, you came back. We're blessed to have you.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, anytime, son. I'm here to help. So I want like a 280 foot for MPO. We'll put this at MPO. I want a 280 foot water carry to end onto a 30 foot wide green.
Wow.
Like
island or just the green is 30 feet?
No, like an island. Like I want it to be super hard. I want the whatever the hole at Dynamic Disc Open is, where everyone's like, "Ooh, that's such a tough green where they got to throw over water." Yeah, I want it to be harder than that. Also, like the really like inner like turd in me is like I want it to be straight wall deep, like 40 feet, so they're not getting it back, like ever, like ever. Like I want like Attica walls. That's a jail reference, by the way. Like I want like that type of deep. Like you ain't gonna get it back. So, haha. Sorry, your favorite putter just died. So like I want that landing zone, and then I want to change the PGA rules to stroke and distance. And like if you miss option 1, you got to go to the 180 pad, and if you don't make it at 180, you go to the 150 pad, and if you don't make it at 150, you go to the 100 pad.
Ooh, teardrop zones.
Finally there's like a 60-foot pad that's like, if you can't make this, you shouldn't have played the hole. And more importantly, like I want that sign on the hole, like quote Papa Wolf, if you're here, you shouldn't have played the hole.
There's a plaque in the water behind the basket that just says you're bad.
Like, love Papa Wolf, like haha, you suck. Because like I firmly believe like we have so many like amazing course designers, amazing properties, and like we're getting to the point where like it's about to bubble up, and the courses that we love, like the memorial courses, they're not going to be as popular anymore because we're seeing other things come up and bigger and better and all that. Blah. Okay, cool. Someone prove it. Give me a par 5 with an island at the end to finish, where people are ranging from like a 4 to a 12. That's what I want to see. I want to see someone lose a world championship because they got a 12 and they had a 6-stroke lead going in.
Damn.
He's a savage, folks.
I'm a viewer. I'm a consumer of disc golf. You know, I'm an early adapter to live coverage. I was a lover of post coverage. I do commentary on post coverage. Give me that opportunity to be like, yep, Spiiciiboii is up for his 17th shot today.
Again,
this is going to be for optimistic. A record. Yeah, record from 280, 17th shot. You know, something like that. Give me the opportunity as a commentator to like go full Jim Nance and be like, well, hello friends, we're back after that commercial break. Spiiciiboii is
still trying.
Going on his 19th shot to the green today. He has no discs left. He's borrowed a neighbor's disc out of his bag. We're gonna allow it.
Yeah,
you know, like that. Like maybe that's gimmicky. Maybe that's like too savage or whatever you want. But like that's 1 million views from ESPN.
Oh, easy. Yeah, I was just thinking that like some of the
top 10.
Yeah, a not top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just thinking some of the more viewed like clips from the Pro Tour are like Katrina Allen just like 7 putting, or who was it that missed the drop zone at European Open? Like so
Anthony Barella had a rough
time. Yeah, like clips like that just go crazy. So I think there's definitely some market for some watching some pain happen.
Yeah.
We all know that we click on the things that are sometimes negative. I think that's human nature, especially negative in sports we don't really know or understand. Like, you know, when I see someone like fall over a hurdle, I'll laugh because that's funny to me. Like, I'm a human.
Right.
Like, sorry, that's
Same.
funny. Or like, what do you do?
I think you're among friends there.
Yeah, like, oh no, I'm honest. Like, it's funny to watch someone fall. Sorry, it's not you, but whatever.
And then you get the people who are like, but they worked their whole lives for it. They should have cleared the hurdle.
Oops. What are you gonna do?
We're just
happened. We can
I'm
either
just
laugh
a jaded
and move
former
on.
athlete, so it's fine. Yeah, I know that's the easiest thing to do.
That's my life philosophy: laugh and move on.
Yeah.
I like your answer though, because generally, I think might be a little bit of an overcorrection, but I think generally par 5s are relatively easy on tour. There's a few exceptions, like I think it's Northwoods with that really long par 5 that averages like a stroke and a half over par, but
That is the par 6 on the tour right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, I think generally par 5s, we mostly see them on open courses, and they're usually the birdied hole of the day. So I would love to see some par 5s where people are taking 9s, 10s. You know, if you get out there with a bogey, everyone's clapping.
Fair. Yeah. And like, it doesn't have to be a finishing hole. Like, I would love that because I'm like statistic or whatever. But like, I've always dreamed of like opening the premier, championship level course, but not from a player standpoint. Like, cool, I really care about your opinion, Ricky, but I care about the 1,400 people that are going to come view its opinion way more. So like, I imagine like hole 18 having like stadium seating, nothing but water. It's like 180 foot onto a 15-foot green, like just to mess with people. Like, you either ace or you for it. Like, that's your option. You know what I mean?
A bowling lane to the green.
Yeah, but you could seat 1,000 people around that, and that's way more interesting and looks better on camera than some of these finishing holes. And like, that's the thing. Like, love the Pro Tour, love Disc Golf Network, like friends with people that work for both. So I'm definitely not dogging any of my homies. But like, when it comes to courses, like, how does this view at the end? Like, we need to start thinking about that. Like, how is it spectator friendly? Like, we look at the World Championships in Utah where they brought in those benches and James hit that amazing shot. Like, that is less cool if it's hole 18 at USDGC or USDGC, because it's just spectator wise. Like, there was way more options there for that Worlds than there would have been at other events. And so that's what we have to think about, especially the fact that we have coverage of so many events now.
Yeah. And like, the finales there at Smugs 21. I mean, just think about how different the media would have been for that if there wasn't 100 people jumping and screaming and it was just James running solo to the basket. I mean, still an amazing shot, no doubt, but I don't think it would have gotten nearly the attention it did.
Yeah, guy in American flag shorts running around, right?
Yeah. I mean, Germ holding his head just like, what happened?
Everybody, even Calvin, like, ah!
Yeah.
Just you're getting Calvin to react like that, it's obviously a huge deal. And it's funny that you guys brought up this event, because you were just talking, Brian, about how you wanted 180-foot shot onto a 15-foot green. And that's kind of, I had to look up the name of the course because I couldn't think of it. Mulligan's in Utah, the other course that they played that year, has that hole 18 where Hokum forehand aced it. And it's been aced a couple of times, but it's basically that kind of green. It's you ace it or you four. You're going to hit cage or rocks and you're going to bounce OB. So that's one of my favorite holes.
They had the line like 3 feet short of the barrier, the advertisements or whatever that Paragon probably made. Shout out Paragon. Like, so all those people that like thought they landed soft and had that like little rollback, like ended up out of bounds and had to go to drop zone 2. Like, it was great on camera. Like, I could imagine, like, wow, what a trip it would be to sit there and watch, 200 shots coming over a day. Like, how great would that have been from a spectator standpoint to like feel that energy and stuff like that. So, stuff that we think about,
Yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like, I know exactly the hole he's talking about. And it's genuinely one of my favorite holes to watch ace runs on for that reason. It's either you better be perfect or you're fucked.
Or you're done
for
it.
It's like, what is it, hole 8 at Maple Hill or whatever?
Yeah.
It's one of those like styles, like, you got to do it. If you don't do it, you're gonna for it. Like, go up.
Yeah, holes like that where you have to commit. I think we need a lot more of those as well. Like, needs to, because you can't be scared on hole 8 Maple Hill, right?
No,
like any sort of hesitation.
I'm an AM. Who knows?
This is an AM podcast for AMs. I probably couldn't clear it, to be fair. So
is it over 285? Because maybe I can, maybe I can't. We'll
I'm not sure how far it is.
Day.
But yeah. All right, I'll take another Twitter question.
Do it up.
Let's see here. Favorite disc you don't throw, from R. Valentino.
That is a solid question, and I have a weird response. So like, it's easy for me to be like, I don't throw the Zeus or I don't throw the Onyx because they're super overstable, and I'm don't throw like that. And like say a disc from obviously the company that supports me and I support. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna go with a company that no one would ever guess comes out of my mouth, and that's Prodigy.
Prodigy.
So I'm not gonna say I've dogged Prodigy in the past, but I've at least not been supportive of Prodigy. I'll say that much. But now working in the store, you get to feel things, you get to see things, you get to feel how other people play. I'm playing with a much wider base of players nowadays. Like everyone from like I just picked up a disc and will you teach me to I'm a touring pro and I'm gonna whoop your ass. But I have to give Prodigy massive credit for the PA3 and specifically the NHL PA3s. One, I am a huge hockey fan, and by huge, I mean I'll put it on if I happen to notice, but that's a lot for me. I love the sport of hockey. I love the tradition of hockey. So I thought that was super huge of Prodigy to kind of partner with the NHL. But the PA3 feels keyword because I've never thrown it. Feels like a disc that would be a great putter for me. Has a little bit of stability, a little bit of overstability at the finish. Has a little bit of a bead. I grew up, my first putter, my first love, if you will, was the Wizard. I putted with the Wizard for close to a decade before I got on Discraft. So yeah, the PA3 is something I wouldn't mind testing out if I wasn't on Discraft, just to see what would happen. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So what do you putt with since you're on Discraft?
So
Challenger, you said, right?
Oh yeah, you
Challenger,
said Challies.
Chally OSs for a while,
OS.
and then I got old, and now it's just Challengers because I don't quite have the snap I used to, if you will.
Fair play.
There are pills for that, Brian.
Oh, does it help the disc golf game too? I know about the other ones.
This is where we do an ad read for
Hims.com.
I was gonna go with Cialis. This is the first one I could think of. I don't know. Hims.com.
Only
right?
one you're subscribed to. We should all answer this question. Favorite
that
disc
one's
you don't
free
throw?
Hims.
Yeah, right.
Favorite disc you don't throw? Yeah. What's the disc you don't throw?
Somebody made this for me.
Oh,
and it's
such a good looking disc.
It's the San Diego skyline, which is where I'm from, and then obviously Spiiciiboii, and then this my dog that passed away in June. So she handed this to me while I was about to host trivia. I was like, "Hey,
no.
fuck off!" You get really, really sad about it, but it's just a bottom stamp wraith. But it's my favorite one, and I asked her to design it so I could throw it, and then she handed this to me, and I was like, "I obviously can't."
Yeah, you can't throw that.
Right.
That's fair.
What about you, Caleb?
I don't have a massive collection. If I don't vibe with the disc, I tend to just give it away to somebody. So if I had to pick, I have my Star Leopard in my bag. My first Ace disc, but it's my bag captain where it's in my bag, but it never gets thrown. So if I had to answer, it's probably that one. It's just in there for moral support, kind of. But yeah, I'd have to say that one. And I aced it on a 136 foot hole with a
Star Leopard.
I threw a Star Leopard. So
I fucking love that.
Oh,
That's amazing. That's always like the ace I was talking about getting with the Hurricane earlier. It's like 180 foot hole, and that's like a 12 speed fucking murder disc.
Listen,
and
no one is judging. No one is judging. If they are, they've never had fun before.
No one's throwing a destroyer on a 150 foot hole. Come on now.
I love it. I'm pretty damn accurate with the skip shots. So
you can go 150 feet with a destroyer. That's impressive.
Oh no! I mean, unless it's been like chewed on by my dog. No chance. What's the fastest?
Hey, can I ask a question mid question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, this is the first ever of your podcast, and at this point, if anyone is still listening, I'm impressed, and I really thank them. Where is this podcast going to be released? Just so I know.
Oh.
Everywhere.
What Spicy said? Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck he just said.
It's a bad Cleveland impression. Everywhere, I
Oh,
think he
thanks.
said, right?
Yeah. So Apple and Google have sort of like a wait period. They have to approve you. But
Fair.
I
Yeah.
have a RSS feed ready to go whenever they do that, and it'll go everywhere. And since we're doing face cams, probably YouTube as well.
Okay.
So
That was the key thing that I was questioning was the YouTube portion.
Yep.
Great. I'm glad we're recording. Now that I know that my face is being recorded too.
I hope so.
I'm a guest on your podcast. We should do a giveaway of my shit.
Oh, heck yeah.
And this is your first ever podcast. Is that correct?
This is not authorized.
Okay. Well, then I won't do it, Spicy. I'll just
Like,
sit here and wait for you to give me a dumb question. Go ahead.
No,
Let's wait.
what do we give? Yeah, here's my question. What are we giving away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good spin, you motherfucker. Like, how are you gonna get people to listen? Like, what if we do a good giveaway? Like a good?
Like a good
You think
one?
Like, how good you want to do?
How bad do you want people to come listen to us yammer?
I don't know.
I want it pretty bad.
You want it bad?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Spicy, you owe me dinner when I'm in Arizona next.
Yes, Papa.
Daddy.
Hey, how about this
Record show.
unthrown foreclaw?
Holy
Ooh.
I'm gonna enter with my burner account on Twitter.
Right.
For sure.
Let me just see this real quick. It's gotta be, you gotta go to the YouTube. So I'm forcing you to release this and make a YouTube channel.
Can do.
So that they can see this beautiful thing.
Look at that.
It is, to my knowledge, unthrown, and it is also penned, which is unique for this run. So instead of getting, $250, $300 that I could on one of the collector's site, I'm donating this to the people that watch this YouTube video or listen and then come to YouTube. So obviously you have to like and subscribe, and I will come in and personally look at the people that like it. So if you're not liked and subscribed, you're not going to get shit. And we'll do my classic giveaway. Please comment your favorite dinosaur. And then
I saw that was one of the questions you posed. What is your favorite dinosaur?
It's so easy to talk about, and it's even more important to tell everyone why the Ankylosaurus is the supreme dinosaur, and whatever you picked is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's got a club tail, it's an herbivore, it can survive the longest, and really has very few predators, kind of like me.
Yeah, that reminds me, I have to make fun of Ben Oship real quick. Get good, scrub.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that.
You're welcome for that personal shout out, Ben. The bill is in the mail.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll ship that purple.
It was a 4-claw. What
zone?
It's a zone.
It's a good one. It's not. I'm not passing an Undertaker on you guys. It's a 4-claw zone, and it's unthrown to my knowledge. It has Paul Macbeth's name on it, and it's going to be given away based on people's comments between whenever this is released, and we'll say December 15th, which gives you like 2 weeks to listen and find us through promotion or whatever, however you find this, because I'm a gracious guest. And in honor of being a gracious guest, we'll do a second giveaway.
Oh, man. Just so y'all know, this is the first time I've ever spoken to Caleb verbally. We've only ever texted.
Yeah, that's romantic.
Hey, his eyes. Yeah. Have you seen him? Second, we had no idea Brian was going to be doing any giveaways. Make sure y'all thank him. Buy things.
I took over this podcast.
He sure did.
Well, move on. Well, the second giveaway, we'll do a Wolfpack Disc, what I called Irish style baseball camp, and we'll put that in there. And you know what? Because I believe in the rule of 3. We'll do a Wolfpack Disc coffee cup as well for third place. I'll cover the shipping. So listen, guys, I really set your podcast up to not suck. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, you knew what you signed up for. So, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
really, that's super generous of you.
That's fun. So,
How much more time you got, Brian? Are we?
Yeah.
Are you ours for tonight, or you want to finish those pretzel bites in a not public setting?
Bro, I'm good.
You
Keep
good?
going until the wife comes down and tells me it's bedtime. I'm good.
Same. I do have one segment for this show prepared, besides just random questions from whatever.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, all right. So the idea here is I'm going to throw rapid fire questions at you.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
You have to answer. You don't have to answer them correctly, but answer as many as you can. And you'll be setting
So it's speed versus quality.
Yes. So you got to answer as many as you can, and you'll be setting the placeholder on the leaderboard. Maybe first place for a long time.
So no matter what, champion. I'm a champion for the first time.
Yes.
I can answer 0 things correctly or as slow as I want because I'm already a champion.
Correct. So we're going to run it for...
Please ruin the segment immediately.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Don't ever be back.
All right. We thinking 30 seconds?
This is not my podcast. You tell me what to do.
We'll do 30 seconds starting now. All right. What's your favorite PDGA rule?
The foot fault rule.
Big fork or little fork?
Always a small baby.
Least favorite PDGA rule?
The stroke and distance.
Why are manhole covers round?
Because square is not as efficient from a manufacturing standpoint.
Do you regret coming on the show?
Not one bit.
How many discs can fit in a school bus?
31,000.
If you were a fruit, what kind would you be?
Definitely an apple. The variety is so large.
Favorite disc golf YouTube channel?
Smashbox.
And what's the last thing you Googled?
Who the fuck is Spiiciiboii?
Oh.
No, in all seriousness, I think I still have it up. I Googled a disc golf company that I'd never heard of that I was interviewing a potential Great Lakes team member, and they're like, yeah, I'm sponsored by this company. And for me to not know a company,
call them out.
No, because it's free advertising for them. I'm not gonna call them out.
We'll bill them.
They're a small company. They need the free advertising.
That's fair.
Right. Let me pull the tab up. But
9, by the way. 9 is the baseline.
9 is the record
question, and it was about 40 seconds. So we'll have to keep it there.
Yeah, but I get 10 seconds extra because I'm special.
First time.
That's fair. All right. Yeah, for the giveaway.
So the company that I had not heard of, and I apologize to them if they have a brand manager and they want to reach out to me and get some suggestions on how I can help them. I would love to volunteer my time, or they can go to wolfpackdisc.com and pay me $60 for an hour, and I will tell them how to do it better. But their name is Flippy Disc Golf, and they are I guess
they're clothing.
Jersey. Yeah, custom jersey company.
Yeah, no Flippy.
Listen, I'm glad that you know them. That means they're doing well. I'm a guy that I think at one point I had 2 burner accounts on Facebook that only follow disc golf companies, just for reference, like just so I could read what every content was coming out, what everything was coming out. I'm a little bit less savage than I was not back in the day. Now I'm, as I tell Shay at Great Lakes, I'm water because water's undefeated.
Water.
I just move slow, but I can cut through rocks, as Spiiciiboii knows. That's how the Grand Canyon got made.
Spiiciiboii made the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, with water and his own space.
And time.
In
time. Yeah, I'm undefeated because I'm slow and I'm water, and no one's going to beat me.
Oh, heck yeah.
That was that was fun, little rocket share. Last thing I Googled, that's funny.
Yeah. So like Flippy, I'm pretty sure they're like VII, which they're kind of more of a popular clothing brand within disc golf. But yeah.
So we'll just cut this whole segment because they don't need the free advertising. But
or we can talk about how like 90% of these people are just and I don't know Flippy, so this isn't an attack on Flippy. No offense to them. If this is their business practice, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of companies out there that are like, yeah, I'm Spiiciiboii clothing, and I make sweet custom jerseys, and I charge you $45 for them. They don't make shit. They know someone that makes them for them that at $30, and they take $15, and that's how prices get overcharged. They're not getting. They don't have the production. They're not making the shirt physically. They don't know the plant in Malaysia or wherever it is either.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're third-hand stuff, which I get. I third-hand stuff sometimes with various companies I work with. I understand how it is, but
Prodigy.
You're never going to be able to make a true business practice when you're taking 2% or whatever. Like you're just going to run out of time or money or energy. Energy is probably the first one you run out of, but yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah,
it does be like, yo, Spicy, I got a question for you.
What's up, brother?
So for our YouTube people, like, what's the deal with your background? Like, why is it all blurred out? That's creepy.
Oh, it's not meant to be creepy. I can change it. It's just not disc golf related stuff, and I don't feel like explaining it 900 times.
All right. Well, then when
so,
I'm
like,
on, don't keep it blurred, because this just
picture-
makes me feel like you've got like dongs or something in the background.
We need that as a patch right now.
Yeah, that
my face.
There you go.
Yeah, that picture you got there, that needs to be a patch for people's bags right now.
Yeah, I'll send you the file.
That's an easy $9.99 sale, and there's something that you can mark up, because you get that patch made for $3, but you sell it for $10. That's a normal markup. Like, no one's gonna be mad at that. But when a jersey realistically costs $26, but then you're selling it at $45, so the retailer sells it at $70, no, stop, move on.
Yeah, some of the jerseys I see that I buy, it's like I have to wait until I have like room on a credit card because they're so damn expensive. They're so expensive, and it's like, it's a shirt, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
or if we learned anything from the disc golf world this year, that if you see something you want, just wait till Black Friday, because it's going to be on sale or it's going to be in the mystery box. Just wait. That's what I've learned. Terry Miller has done a wonderful job of like politely calling out companies. So shout out him.
His rants today.
His rants today were great. I sent him a private message that said, there's a certain company that's sending us a message every 6 hours through SMS, just so you know. I linked it. I didn't want to link it to, but he knows who, based on the wording again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm burping up a lot of yangling in the background right now. Sorry for everybody listening. And if you're watching, enjoy.
Yeah, audio texture.
I'm glad you can't see below my waist. That's actually what I did last year. I really wanted the Lucid Ice Escape and the 10th anniversary box from Dynamic, and I just waited and waited and waited, and eventually I think I asked for it for Christmas, and it got bought at Black Friday for like $0.
Embarrassing story real quick about that box.
Oh yeah.
So
tell me about your box, Brian.
We obviously bought some of those from Dynamic. We have a great relationship with Dynamic, great people there. I know people there. We didn't really sell a lot of them. We had a few extras. So I debated putting the box inside of a box for Black Friday for mystery.
Oh man, people would have shit their brains.
I got the box and it didn't quite fit perfectly in there, so I'm like, I'm just gonna open this up and divvy it up amongst its friends. But like, like the things like that where you get, there's 5 discs in there, but there's one you really want. That's tough sometimes. I get that as a consumer, and I get that as like a person that has too many frisbees. Like, that's why I have racks, of leftovers.
I just feel like mystery boxes feel like such a gamble.
Not the ones from GreatLakesDisc.com. You can use code POPWOLF for 10% off. We've got a $50 option and a $100 option. More importantly, I made them all. But I didn't make all of them because Kyle Klein and Cynthia Ricciotti made some of them for me as well. And I made them sign. Yeah, I made them sign inside of the boxes that they made.
I
thought that was kind of funny.
People. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, we were like, come on in, eat Chick-fil-A and build mystery boxes with us, and it was great. So, that's how you lure the kids in with some Chick-fil-A.
Yep, free food.
Yep.
All mystery boxes are a gamble, except for the ones from Great Lake Discs. Great Lake Disc.
Guaranteed excellence.
Guaranteed at least love. I guarantee love. That's all I can guarantee.
One disc because they only have the one. And
Yeah, if you buy a Great Lakes disc mystery box, you get a disc because we only have one in stock.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. All right. One last thing to finish it out. We're almost at an hour. So Simon posted today or yesterday or something.
I loved this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Headphones during tournaments. What do you think?
Okay. So I'm going to separate like the C tier that Spicy and I play in from the Pro Tour real quick. Okay. At the Pro Tour level, I think that you get a distinct advantage from playing with headphones because you can't hear the crowd or reactions or things like that. You might also get a disadvantage because you can't hear crowd or reactions or things like that. Ultimately, like it's more of a like card vibe and pace of play thing. From the pros that I talk to, they very much dislike when people have their headphones in because that's one less person that's maybe aware of like a rules violation or something like that. So that's like the reason why I would be like, nah, for Pro Tour. Like, I think you need to be aware and like things like that. Your C tier where AM3 homeboy is just a weekend warrior named Brian, and maybe that's me personally. And you're on the card with me asking about sponsorship nonstop, or like asking about like what Kyle eats for breakfast, or like what Andy eats for dinner. And I pop in headphones because you're a turd. Like maybe that's fair. Like I think I deserve the right to not have to listen to you ask me about sponsorship or ask me about, you know, a foot fault violation from 1942 or something like that. Like so, like right pre-disc golf. Like
Like
you know when they went
34 years.
you know when they stormed Normandy, there was a foot fault. They were playing frisbee too. Yeah,
That's what started the whole thing. Is no one would concur.
Yeah, World War II was because of frisbees, not anything else. No, but like, I guess overall, if I was czar of competition or whatever the rules guy was, I would be like, no, we're not going to wear them because it's a safety hazard, and I would just lie on that, and I would just use that as the dumb excuse. Because you can't hear someone yell for.
Exactly.
That's where I would like, I guess, if I had to make a decision and think of the whole scope of the PDGA from Pro Tour down to super AMs like us, like I would say we can't wear them for purely safety. Yeah. And I would rely on that. And usually you win an argument when you use safety as a background. But that being said, like, I don't know if it's a distinct advantage, but there's definitely an advantage to players that feel more comfortable in whatever headspace they're in. And some people get there with music, so that's an enhancement. That's great. But it's really like the Pro Tour level awareness of like hearing someone's disc hit a tree and go in a different direction, or hearing the discussion about whether there was a foot fault or not. And especially like when there are things that need to be seconded and you might not hear the first, I feel like that's unfair to competition. I don't know if that's a thing that we are allowed to be unfair about, but I think that is a distinct unfairness to competition, because you're not involved in the card and you're not involved in the calling aspect of. So 25% of the card no longer is going to second anything or whatever. And I realize the argument is, oh, I could still hear things or blah, blah, blah. But
sure, but what if it's a really good part of your song?
Yeah, ultimately, if I had to make a call, I'd call it on safety. And then, like, second, like, if I was the Pro Tour head of marketing, which I'm not sure who is, I would say it just looks bad when you have headphones or earrings or, you know, or earbuds, not earrings, but earbuds in.
Earrings, like, hot take.
But hot take, yeah. Earrings are bad. Don't ever put in earrings. And tattoos are bad, too. Yeah, definitely don't ever get a tattoo because you're going to go to HE double hockey stick, you know. Whoa. Don't ever get a tattoo.
That was more my thought on it, Brian, was like, it's funny that you went to like safety and a couple of other things, because my thought was like, it just looks tacky. Unprofessional. Yeah, tacky. Yeah. Like you don't like Tiger Woods isn't walking down the fairway with buds in. Baseball players aren't coming up to bat with buds in. If you want to be
Right.
taken seriously at a professional level, I think at the pro level, no headphones should be allowed.
Yeah, I look at it like if you went into a job interview with an earbud in, the person's looking at you
Right.
like you're a fucking moron. Like,
Exactly.
take the earbud out, buddy.
Like how invested are you in this?
I think that's another. I think it might be an unintended side effect of the rule change where now everyone has to keep score. As people aren't going to want to be taking an earbud out to go, what'd you get every single hole? It's going to be now we all have to pay attention so that we know the scores are accurate and correct. And let me tell you, from somebody who's run starting tents, there's no harder discussion to have with a golfer who's focused and about to tee off than saying, hey, by the way, you need to keep score. They fucking hate it. The pros do, at least.
Yeah. And you know what? That everyone's gonna have to move on. It's part of it's part of the sport now.
Yeah.
Grab your paper card, get on PDJ Live, whatever your choice is, but be an adult, move on. Or don't play our events.
Right. Yeah. I'm always the scorekeeper for my daily group. I have a I can't remember the mold. It's a white dynamic mid, and I put the U-Disc logo on it, but I wrote "you bitch" because that was always me. I was the "you bitch."
I don't know how their brand manager would feel about that, but as Great Lakes Disc brand manager, I would tell you that that's more than welcome. We appreciate your honesty here, and feel free to continue to use that.
Hey, I love U-Disc. I would be lost without it, and that's a genuine statement.
Yep.
So, like, here's a hot take or a hot question. I guess it's your podcast, but I'm good at taking over. Like, you only have $50. Are you renewing your AM PDJ membership, or are you renewing your U-Disc account?
U-Disc every time.
It's got to be U-Disc, yeah.
Okay, if you're from a PDJ representative and you're listening to this podcast, please be aware that that is your future.
Ooh, that's getting clipped.
If you're not aware, please call me. As a nonprofit executive for many, many years, I would love to help your company not go under.
Or you could go to wolfpackdiscs.com and pay him $60.
$60. $60, I'll help you survive. I realized what your net was last year was about 8. 8 was your net. You're not going to get that again. Just focus on that. Be aware. You're going to be down 20% this year. And if you don't believe me, you know who I am. You got TDs, you got major people, marshals that have my personal cell phone number in their phone because they call me at events. Go ahead. Feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you.
Amateur podcast, amateur players, real messages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want our sport to die, and I think there's a space for both the PDJ and U-Disc. But if PDJ is not careful, there's just going to be U-Disc. And that's the reality of the Super Am. Like, I'm well aware of what the guy that's never played a PDGA event is going to do because they come to my store every day and tell me, yeah, this is what I do. I play 120 rounds a year. I buy thousands of dollars worth of plastic. I'm never going to compete, but I am going to pay for U-Disc.
Yep.
So be aware that that is a big swing in our future. In fact, like U-Disc, if you're listening, why don't you have a pro team? Why aren't you sponsoring players more?
Yeah, insane.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, every disc golfer knows what U-Disc is, but I had never really thought about it before. Crazy they don't have a team.
Like U-Disc, based on the income that I think you're getting based on mathematics, you're rivaling some manufacturers. Like go out there and go after players and just use them as advertisement and never ever worry. Let players like Drew Gibson should be sponsored by U-Disc. Let him have an open bag. There you go. Perfect. Drew Gibson, reach out to U-Disc. You should be the first player. You should be the first player on U-Disc.
That'd be crazy.
That would be. I mean, it's wild because genuinely, when you run into that family that's out for like their second week of disc golfing at a course, you know what they have? U-Disc. You know what they don't have or have even heard of yet? The PDGA. So that's a great. I would have never even thought of that, but I fully agree with you.
Yep.
That's what I'm here for. Random hot takes.
All right, Brian. Well, it was great to have you. One last note: if you're going to be listening to headphones on the course, it better be this podcast.
Fair.
Find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple eventually, Google eventually. Any last thoughts, Brian? Spicy?
Yeah, I got last thoughts. Sorry, Spicy, to cut you off. Just shout out to my sponsors as always. Great Lakes Disc. You can go to greatlakesdisc.com and use code Papa Wolf to save 10%. You can go to mittenbags.com. They make a premier mitten bag. It is a clay composite with crushed clay stone. I highly suggest it. They are a Michigan-based small business. Love them. Discraft Underground, Wes and Bob, thanks for having me. And Paragon Disc Golf and Box for Disc with Miles. Seriously, thanks for keeping money in disc golf and keeping money going around all these great companies. Really appreciate you reaching out for those things.
Yes.
Sweet.
Great representative.
He's the best. Yeah, don't forget.
Honored to be here. First one, number one.
It was supposed
yeah.
to be
I'm
me,
number
but
one.
then I got promoted. So
That's fair. Yeah, it was going to be Spicy, and then I figured he's probably better at this than me. So
number one.
Who's that?
Ron Burgundy.
It's Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm number one.
Don't forget about the giveaway.
Oh yeah,
Remind
giveaway.
us of the rules.
Second place, this hat. Third place, this coffee cup, and first place, this 4-claw zone. Feels like there's a really big drop off between first and second. Don't tell anyone. But you got to go to YouTube. You got to comment your favorite dinosaur by what do we say, the 15th of December. And then I'll randomly comment in there who wins. I will find you and comment.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So
Sweet.
4-claw zone and then stuff off Brian's desk.
Fair.
Thank you for listening to the Hanging Loose podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. Spicy as always.
Have a good one, guys.
Stay spicy. Hang loose.
All the things. And then Brian.
And Brian. All right. See ya.